A little bit more feisty. I mean, you never hear a CEO on a call like this going after analysts to this effect. It really raises a lot of eyebrows. I mean, if you look at the results, there was some positives. The revenue was better than analysts expected. The loss was better than analysts expected. Yet we get off the call and the notes are using words such as contentious, surreal, bizarre to describe his performance. That's not really what a company is going for.
No, I get it. But I mean, you know, Elon Musk has a sort of a degree of eccentricity that I think investors sort of expect. So I guess the question is, you know, at this point, is that wearing off?
Well, what he did here was pivot the conversation to things that he does like to talk about. He talked about the upcoming Model Y compact sport utility vehicle, talked about self-driving cars. These are things that in the past, the future has helped the stock. This idea where he's taking personal transportation has helped enthuse investors. So he's trying to pivot to that. But to your point, investors are in the now. They want to know where the Model 3 is doing. They want to know, can he ramp up production like he has promised so many times and has not been able to do just yet.
And Tim, you know, obviously, I think analysts are also going to ask whether his reluctance to get into the weeds with a lot of these financial questions and a lot of the production questions represents a lack of attention on his part to these issues, or does he just want to get away from the entire conversation of the balance sheet? How much cash are you going to need? How much are you going to burn in the second half? I mean, either way, it's one thing to say, oh, he's a long-term oriented visionary who's focused on, you know, the next 50 years. It's another thing if the company has to come out and raise money in 6 months.
Right, exactly. So here, I mean, even just going before the call, you could see some of his activity on social media suggesting he really didn't want to be focusing on this idea of cash burn and where they are in the now. It's about the future. It's always about the future.
I mean, on social media ahead of the call, he retweeted a TechCrunch article with the comment "la la la," as well as an Instagram photo of a Frisbee that said "woke" on it. Phil, you have some thoughts here for Tim?
Well, I think Tim would agree with me on this. If you look at all of the analyst notes this morning, while they all call this bizarre, strange, a weird phone call, the strangest many have seen in 20 or 25 years on Wall Street, I've yet to see anybody who has said, you know what, I'm a little bit worried here and I'm cutting my estimates. And so at the end of the day, I have to wonder, and I'm curious what you think, Tim, are investors really going to care about this? Because I think if you're a bull, you're still a bull on Tesla, you're still a bull on Elon Musk, and if you think the guy's a carnival barker, you still think he's a carnival barker.
Right. That's the thing about that's the magic of Elon Musk. If you're in his camp, you see him as a visionary. If you're against him, here's yet another example why you don't like him. So this is just the latest example of the pros and the cons. I mean, my emails box this morning from readers were, hey, you're so biased. And the question I said to them was, well, which way? People are unhappy on both sides of the equation when it comes to Tesla.
I mean, it's a real battleground stock. But, I mean, Phil, you brought up the point earlier, and that is, you know, these investors are going to be the ones that Tesla's going to be knocking the doors of in terms of raising capital in the future. Of course, Elon Musk says we don't need to raise capital. It's not required. But everybody thinks, on the Wall Street at least, that they will need to raise capital. At that point, I mean, yeah, I get it. A lot of these institutional investors in particular, their cost base is really low. They've been in Tesla for years and years and years. It doesn't matter to them if it goes back down to 244, the last 52-week low, right? But they may not want to put more money into the next offering.
Right. But I think that Elon Musk's feeling right now, and I don't think this is why he acted the way he did yesterday. I think, look, that's part of his personality. Anybody who's covered the company for a while has seen this before in some fashion. But I think that Elon Musk right now is feeling, look, I'm confident about where the Model 3 is. I'm confident about where we're heading. And I'm not going to get into the granularity on some of these things that analysts want to talk about. But you have to trust me, all is well in the world. Now, I understand the flip side of this is people saying, look at something like autopilot. He comes out and says that the media are crazy to be writing these stories. They shouldn't be writing these stories at all. Well, that's absurd. Everybody knows that's absurd. An NTSB investigation is nothing to blow off. And these are pertinent and important questions about that technology. So we know where Musk is coming from on his approach to not only the media, but these questions about the granularity of Tesla's business.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.